Hello knitters, Barbara Benson here. I'm an independent knitwear designer who likes to make these entertaining videos here on my YouTube channel, Watch Barbara Knit. Today for you, I have decided to chat about something that can be, the bane of your knitting existence, which is stockinette rolling. Some of you have just gone, aha! And some of you have been like, what is she talking about? So let's start out with what is stockinette. So stockinette is a style, it's fabric. And what it is when you are looking at it from the right side, all you see are the knit side of stitches. If you look at the wrong side, all you're going to be seeing are the purl bumps, and the wrong side of stockinette is called reverse stockinette, logically, of course. And to make stockinette, if you are knitting flat, you knit your right sides and purl your wrong sides, because the purl is simply the back side of the knit. So when you knit the right side, the knit is presented to the viewer, and when you purl the wrong side, you're making the purl, and the back side of the purl is the knit, which will be what is presented on the right side. This is in contrast to garter, which you knit the right side and the wrong side. So when you knit the wrong side, the purl bump is presented on the right side. So when you're looking at it from the right side, you see knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, which is what gives it that bumpy texture. Stockinette, all you see is knit, 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 knit. Now, if you are working in the round, you simply knit, and that will make stockinette because you're always working from the right side. If you want garter in the round, you have to knit one row and then purl one row, etc., because that is what you want presented. I have a little piece here, so I can show you real quick. This part, this is stockinette. All you can see from the right side is the knit stitch. The knit stitch being the tiny little columns of V's. The purl side is all these little bumpy bump guys. So you can see purl side, knit side. Now, why does stockinette curl? Well, because of the way that a knit stitch is constructed. And it's not anything to do with how you're knitting. It is simply the physics of how it goes together. When a knit stitch is, it's going to sound crazy, a little bit wider and a little bit shorter than a purl stitch. Your purl, on the purl side, the stitch is a little bit taller and a little bit narrower. So what you have is you've created a single plane of fabric where one side, typically the right side, is a little bit wider and a little bit shorter, and the wrong side is a little bit narrower and a little bit longer, which sounds completely crazy because it is. You have a flat surface that one side, the two sides are different sizes. So what happens is it curls to try to compensate for that. Because the knit stitch is wider on the edges, it curls under. And because the purl stitch is taller on like the tops and bottoms, it curls up. So on the edges, on the vertical edges, it's going to curl under towards the purl side. And on the top and bottom, the horizontal edges, it's going to curl towards the knit side because the purl is taller. I know, it's crazy. It's a weird mathematical thing. But if you just simply knit stockinette, just straight up stockinette, what can you do about curling? And unfortunately, the answer is nothing. There's really, if all you've done is knit a piece of stockinette, it is going to curl. There's nothing you can do about it. It will just curl. It is physics. I have this piece that I'm going to show you that was a mistake on my part. And this was in my learning process. And I keep this in my blocking class to show you that no, it will not always block out. This, and you can see how this is. See how it's curling? It curls towards. See how bad that is? If I can try to straighten it out, but if I let it go, it just curls back down. And this has been blocked and blocked and blocked. And there's several reasons why it won't ever lay flat, but a lot of it has to do with nylon content, because the nylon is not going to respond to blocking at all. Plus, I didn't put a big enough selvage on it. As you can see, the bottom part doesn't curl, and this is why we're going to talk about the way to solve the curling problem. Has to happen at the design stage. It has to happen at the execution stage. It is not really something that can be solved after the fact. I have a couple suggestions at the end for that, but you'll have to wait around. So the typical way that a designer is going to solve the curling problem is by putting what is called a selvage on your piece, which is just special stitches that are on the edge. And the way to even out, so you've got your one side, your knit's too big and your purl's too tall, and the way to make the fabric lay flat is to even out the distribution. Woohoo! That's a word that I can't say apparently today. Even out the distribution of your knits and purls. If each side of the fabric has a pretty much an equal proportion of knits and purls, then it will lay flat. That is why garter lays flat. Other stitches that lay flat like automatically are seed stitch, because it's equal numbers of knits and purls, and also some other texture stitches. When you have both knits and purls going on, it tends to lay flat. So the solution for a lot of flat pieces is to make sure the edges, instead of just going stockinette straight to both edges, you have to put a texture stitch like garter or seed stitch or ribbing. Ribbing is usually like knit 1, purl 1, or knit 2, purl 2, or some combination thereof, but it prevents the rolling. Frequently, you will, at the bottom of sweaters or hats or things like that, you're going to have ribbing, because it's knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, and that will keep it from rolling. Of course, you can do a rolled brim, and those are pretty cool. You can also use garter on the top and the bottom if you have an edge that is like that. Those will help prevent rolling. And you can use these same things up the edges. With this was a learning process. I only did a tiny amount of edging, and because of the tightness of this knit, it will not lay flat. Now, let's talk about edgings that can help prevent. This one has a slip stitch style I-cord edging on it, which can help prevent rolling, but also the fabric is worked in ribbing, but I didn't block it assertively, and because of the fuzzy yarn, it almost presents like stockinette, but if you pull it out, you can see it really is ribbing, but the ribbing is going to lay flat. Also, lace tends to lay flat because it's got the holes in it, and the holes help even out that tension between the knit and the purl to allow it to lay flat, which brings me to the other edging, and quite possibly the one I use the most frequently. I tend to put eyelet edgings on things that I do that are knit flat. Let me get this over here. I use this bulky stuff so y'all can see what's going on, but if you see that, So instead of having a garter edge here, what I have is an eyelet edge that will allow you, see the holes there, prevent it from rolling up. And then at the bottom, the lace goes all the way to the edge, and therefore it's not going to curl because it has the lace in it. Now, again, if you have a stockinette like shawl, the bottom you're going to want to put some lace or some seed stitch or some garter or something on that bottom to prevent it from curling up. Now, sometimes the design doesn't really allow for an eyelet edge, so that is when you get into, this has a garter selvage on it, but also the lace comes fairly close up to the edge. So the interaction between the garter edging and the lace allows it to lay flat, but you can see that there are little garter bumps in there. If sometimes the design doesn't have enough garter bumps in it, if as you're knitting something, especially like a scarf, you're finding it's really trying to curl on you after you've gotten some rows, you might need to take a moment and maybe think about adding more of whatever texture is helping it lay flat on the edges. Now, I want to show you this one because it is a lay flat kind of thing. This is seed stitch. And as you can see, the seed stitch lays completely flat. There is no problem with it. On this edge, I've got lace, but on this edge, I've got the seed stitch. And because it is equal proportions of a knit and purl, there is no problems with curling. Okay, so now another thing you can do, I don't have an example of because I've never used it, but I need to, is sometimes what you can do is do a column of dropped stitches. So what you do is you plan your selvage to have a little bit of garter or whatever, but then like maybe 3 or 4 stitches in on both sides, you have an extra stitch that at the very end, you drop that stitch and allow it to ladder all the way down. And that extra stitch worth of yarn then kind of feeds into the edges and allows it to loosen up enough and relieves, and I think of it almost like surface tension on water, and it just kind of breaks that and allows it to lay flat. So that is a lot of the ways that you can, so equal proportions of knits and purls, adding lace, dropping stitches, all of these things will fight curling. I think that it might be one of the reasons why we so frequently see lace edgings on the bottom of shawls, because that little bit of lace at the bottom helps keep it from curling up. I have also, and I didn't pull it out, done a cable directly on the edge of my selvage, and that cable, because it's changing the tension and moving things around, has prevented too much curling. Adding in like a purl, like especially at the top of the bottom, like adding in a couple of purl rows. So if you had stockinette and then do a couple purl rows, it'll break it. Now, let's say you already have your thing and it's already curling and it's completely done. What can you do? All of these things are maybe it'll work. You can try it. You can try, if you know how to crochet on an edging, because that extra weight will prevent it from curling up. But usually it has to be a fairly significant border. It's not as simple as just like slip stitching around the edge. That's not enough to break that surface tension. You have to have enough of a border that will be heavy enough that the knit stitches can't pull it in. But crocheting a border can sometimes work. If you can't crochet, picking up all the stitches along there and doing like a knitted on edging in lace or some other type of stitch might help, but that is an awful lot of work. Blocking, so when I'm worried that a project I'm working on might curl, what I do is after I have enough of it, I put it on a carpeted surface and I flatten it out. And if it only just tries to curl a little bit, usually that indicates that blocking will make it fine. If even after like kind of laying it out on carpet and smoothing it out, it still tries to curl up into a snake, I do not have enough of a break, enough of a selvage on that, because the carpet sometimes acts a little bit like Velcro. And if there's not enough curl dynamics in it to pull it away from the carpet, usually blocking is going to do okay. And then push comes to shove, pretty much your last ditch effort is putting a fabric backing on your piece. And this could be up to and including cutting out a piece of like felt, or what's that stuff? What's that fabric made out of? Recycled soda bottles, polar fleece or something like that. A fabric the same size and shape, and like sewing your knitting to it, making it backed, or backing around, putting a fabric hem backing around the bottom of a sweater or something like that. It can maybe help fight that curling action. But as I was, one of the reasons I wanted to make this video is the place to stop curling is in the design stage. So when you are looking at patterns and look at it, look at the structure of it, look at the pictures and see if it has an edging on it. Look at the pictures carefully and see if it's curling in the pictures, because if it's curling in the pictures, that's a little bit of a red flag, and you might be. Or go on Ravelry and look at the existing project pages and see if people had issues with curling. And sometimes curling is worse if you're knitting at a very dense gauge, because again, that's putting a lot more tension onto the yarn, and simply knitting at a looser gauge can help fight the curling. But when it comes down to it, stockinette's gonna curl. It's kind of like, it's just kind of haters gonna hate and stockinette's gonna stockinette. That's just what it does. It curls up. So you have to fight it at the design stage and kind of head it off at the pass. But gave you those few tips just in case at the very, very end. So, but don't let this sour you on stockinette. Stockinette is an absolutely beautiful element that is great when it is added to, I mean, stockinette is one of the few textures that it's just, you can do a whole sweater in stockinette. And if you have beautiful yarn, it's just beautiful. But if you want to watch out for that curling, adding in some texture is always a really good bet. I hope this has been informative. If I miss anything, or if you have good suggestions for how to fight curl in stockinette, please mention them in the comments below, and hopefully other people can read it. And if you have any questions or anything else you'd like me to chat about, please let me know in the comments below. Come over to the Facebook page and ask me questions. You can send me an Instagram question if you would like. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it the thumbs up. If you would like to be notified whenever I upload a new video, please subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell so you can get notifications. Thank you so much.